The Schwartz Rounds provide a structured forum where all staff, clinical and non-clinical, come together regularly to discuss the emotional and social aspects of working in healthcare. The purpose of Rounds is to understand the challenges and rewards that are intrinsic to providing care, not to solve problems or to focus on the clinical aspects of patient care. In 1994, a health attorney called Ken Schwartz was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer. During his treatment, he found that what mattered to him most as a patient were the simple acts of kindness from his caregivers, which he said made the unbearable bearable. Before his death, he left a legacy for the establishment of the Schwartz Center in Boston to help to foster compassion in healthcare. I have learned that medicine is not merely about performing tests or surgeries, or administering drugs. For as skilled and knowledgeable as my caregivers are, what matters most is that they have empathized with me in a way that gives me hope and makes me feel like a human being, not just an illness. The Schwartz Center Rounds have been operating since 1995 and are now in over 550 organizations worldwide. So why did we bring the Schwartz Rounds to Halton Healthcare? We decided to bring the rounds here after discovering just how valuable they were to the caregivers who attended. Rounds can help staff feel more supported in their jobs, allowing them the time and space to reflect on their roles. Evidence shows that staff who attended rounds feel less stressed and isolated, with increased insight and appreciation for each other's roles. They also help to reduce hierarchies between staff and to focus attention on relational aspects of care. The underlying premise for rounds is that the compassion shown by staff can make all the difference to a patient's experience of care, but that in order to provide compassionate care, staff must, in turn, feel supported in their work. Here are a few comments from staff and physicians that participated in a Schwartz Round. This is a short clip so that you can experience a moment in an actual Schwartz Round. This round was conducted in a hospital in the UK and filmed by the Point of Care Foundation.
From my perspective, it was very similar, but being part of the nursing staff, you tend to have a lot more to do with the family than perhaps the medical staff does on a day-to-day basis. We were trying very hard to work with this family. We don't generally tend to look after babies, we tend to look after families as a whole. It was very upsetting for the nursing staff to look after this family. Once we knew that there wasn't a very good outlook for this baby, we could see that this baby was suffering, and this baby was suffering a lot. This baby also had an older brother who turned 4 on the day she died, which was quite hard. He came in at 4 o'clock in the morning, and he was sitting there holding his sister, singing to her on his 4th birthday. So there was more than just the baby and the parents involved in this scenario. There was another child. We tried to help out as much as we could, but it was very upsetting for all the nursing staff involved to see what this child was going through and also the effect it had on their family.
Thank you very much. Do you want to say anything more?
No.
All right, thank you.
My experience with this family was very different because, put quite simply, they didn't want to know me. The word I'd use is rejection. Whereas normally when I go in and introduce myself, families are quite happy to talk to me, and they just didn't want to know me. You just feel a failure that you haven't been able to do that. But there was this great feeling of rejection, which was the most powerful, I suppose, that I wasn't wanted, couldn't be used.
Okay, so this part of the round is where we move on from listening to the panel's stories to opening it up to yourselves. This is your opportunity to reflect on what you've heard When we're busy in our work lives, we don't often take that time to just sit. So if there's some silences, just enjoy that opportunity to reflect, that's fine.
The rounds will be held bi-monthly and take place over lunch. Our Schwartz Rounds are 1-hour meetings held from 12 noon to 1 p.m. in the auditorium. Unlike other meetings, rounds, or events, due to the confidential and emotional nature of these rounds, you will not be able to float in and out of the meeting. The doors will open at 11:45 a.m. and the meeting will begin promptly at 12 noon. No access will be provided after the door closes. Pizza will be served so you can enjoy lunch while you listen and participate. So please be sure to join us. These rounds are guaranteed to have a positive impact on your life and work.